Hello and welcome to my Void XRC video. Thanks for tuning in. So today we'll just be doing a closer look at the RGT RC4. If you guys saw my first trail run with it the other day, you would know that I've got a little bit of runtime with it now. So let's just start off with battery life. Now with the stock 1500 milliamp hour battery, I got about 40-45 minutes of runtime. Now I was out filming for about an hour, but obviously I'm not running the vehicle the entire time while I film. And I don't usually hammer on full throttle that much while I'm filming. So taking those two things into consideration, about 40-45 minutes of runtime. So that's not too bad. The smaller motor helps with that, I'm sure too. Alright, let's just talk about the suspension and the tires. Now the tires are actually pretty decent. I was expecting them to be a little worse than they are, so I'm quite happy with how the tires are. They are foam filled, so you don't really want to go in the water, as you will get water into the rims, and that will soak the foams, and that's not a situation you want to get into. The suspension, the shocks aren't the greatest. When I first got it out of the box, I noticed they have some tubing to limit the travel. So I decided to take that out. But when I took them out fully, when you would fully compress the suspension, you would start to get rubbing. So I put some much shorter pieces in. So it would still limit the travel a bit, but it would give me much more travel than I was initially getting. In the front, it doesn't do too much good when you take them out. As you can see on here, I took this one out. But with the suspension travel, you can see the servo hits this crossbar there. So you don't really get too much of an improvement. In fact, I don't really think you get any with taking them out in the front. Unless you are to either shave down that bar or use a shorter servo. Which might be a possibility. Alright, so another thing I really wanted to know is what the diff gears are like, if they're metal or plastic. So let's just go ahead and get into the rear diff now. Alright, let's find out what is in here. Alright, so the diff is definitely a metal gear. That is very nice to see. It does have a plastic hub in the middle of the diff, but the gears themselves are metal, so I do like that. They do only fit into the diff one way, so you can't put them in backwards. That's good. Alright, well, very happy to see that the diffs are metal. Let's just get putting this thing back together now. Alright, now that I got the diff back together, I'm quite happy to know that it's metal. I just would like to have a little look under here and see the spur gear. I know it's already plastic, but I would like to just see the setup and whatnot. So let's just have a look at that now. So as you can see, I took the entire center out of the vehicle here. You can get a nice good close look at it now. You can see here is the spur, and it is plastic. And the bronze or brass pinion. Unfortunately, the gears back here are plastic too. Would have been nice if these had been metal. Can't really do anything about that now though. I do think it might be possible to put a bigger motor like a 370 or a 390 on here, but I'm not sure. I'm definitely going to have to look into that, but it might be possible, so that's somewhat positive. Alright, well I guess it's time for me to put this thing back together. Alright, so now that I got that back together, my overall impression of this thing is actually pretty good. It was put together very well. I have had a lot of RCs that have come in that are on the cheaper end, and you can tell they haven't been put together very well. Whereas with this thing, I've noticed it's actually been put together very nicely. All the screws are in fully. They're all Loctited where they need to be Loctited, which is not, I don't usually see that, so I have to say I'm fairly impressed with how well it was actually put together. Now obviously if you're buying a more expensive hobby grade vehicle, you pretty much expect that, but I was just surprised by this. I didn't expect it to be quite so well put together. So I do like that. That being said, if you have any questions or comments, make sure to leave them below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.